It began not with a bang, but with a whisper, a soft, chilling sensation brushing the nape of my neck, as though some unseen presence was trying to warn me. Something wasn't right. I couldn't name it at first, but I felt it in my bones, in the silence that lingered too long, in the glances Lydia stopped giving me, in the hollow lull that had replaced our laughter. We had built 10 years of marriage on the foundation of trust, or so I believed. But that foundation had begun to tremble beneath the weight of invisible cracks. Lydia, the woman I had vowed my soul to, had shifted in ways I couldn't ignore. Her once effortless affection had become mechanical, distracted. Her evenings grew longer, often punctuated by vague explanations about project deadlines and networking events. She had taken an unusual interest in her appearance, not just casual. Care, but deliberate, strategic perfection. Her wardrobe changed, subtle at first. Then it became clear this transformation wasn't for self-love. It was performance. Seduction, not for me. Still, I clung to denial, convincing myself I was being paranoid. I repeated the words like a prayer. You're overthinking. She loves you. This is just a phase. But faith, when stretched too thin, eventually snaps. And for me, it snapped the night I found that damn receipt. It was stuffed deep into her leather purse, wrinkled and forgotten beneath an old lip balm and a granola bar half-chewed and fossilized with time. A $240 bill from La Meridiana, romantic little bistro tucked away in the historic district, famous for its secluded booths and candlelit corners, a place that whispered intimacy. We had never been there. When I confronted her with it, Lydia's eyes widened just for a fraction of a second before she dropped her gaze to the floor. Work meeting, she said, voice barely audible. She stumbled over her words like a drunk over broken glass. I watched Hertha weigh her throat tensed. The way she avoided my eyes, and in that moment, I saw the lie coiled around her tongue, like a viper. But I didn't explode. I didn't shout. I tucked away the receipt, smiled, kissed her forehead, and walked away. I needed more than suspicion. I needed truth in all its ugly, naked clarity. I needed to break her world as she had broken mine. So I turned into something I had never imagined. I'd become a man who spies, a man who watches. I waited for moments when she left her phone unattended. Rare, but they came. She angled the screen away from me now, always. That, too, was new. It didn't take long before a name surfaced repeatedly in her messages. Carmela. Except these weren't the kinds of texts Carmela would send. I miss your voice, counting the hours. Last night was magic. It was a disguise, a pathetic one. One evening, while she was in the shower, I picked up her phone. I knew her passcode had burned into my memory like a scar. My hands trembled as I unlocked it and opened her messages. My heart pounded in my ears like war drums. He was Ethan, an account director. Smirking, well-groomed snake in a suit, known for his charm and office flirtations. Their messages weren't just suggestive. They were emotional, intimate, full of stolen moments of hotel rooms and breathless declarations. She told him he made her feel seen, alive, desired. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring into a black hole of betrayal. Rage didn't come immediately, only a cold, slow burn. I didn't confront her. Not yet, I planned. Lydia had been preparing for a high-stakes product launch for weeks. Her agency was unveiling a campaign for a luxury wellness brand. All eyes would be on her. She'd be standing before the city's top executives, journalists, influencers, presenting the culmination of months of work. Her voice, her vision, her moment, it was the perfect stage. The morning of the launch, I kissed her goodbye. She smiled at me, glowing with anticipation, and I wondered how many times she had worn that exact expression for Ethan. As soon as she drove away, I went to work. A stop at the florist, another at a local artisan bakery, and then to a custom print shop. By noon, I was parked across the street from the event venue, watching through the glass windows as Lydia stood poised at the podium, stunning in a navy silk jumpsuit, radiating poise and power. If I hadn't known better, I might have believed the act. The delivery man arrived. precisely at 12:47 p.m. I had written Lydia's name in bold cursive across the tag, the woman who inspires me every day. She opened the box in front of the entire audience. First came confusion, then came horror. Inside was a bound set of documents, printed screenshots of every message, every photo, every hotel confirmation. I had added sticky notes with arrows pointing out the dates and times. In the center of the folder, a handwritten note. "Smile for the cameras, darling. Everyone's watching." Lydia froze, the color draining from her face. The crowd murmured. Whispers grew into a silence so thick it choked the room. She dropped the box. Papers spilled across the floor like confetti at a funeral. One of the slides behind her clicked automatically to the next, but Lydia couldn't speak. She couldn't move. I watched her world collapse through the windshield of my car. Ethan was next. He and Lydia had often met at a quiet cafe near her office. I knew the place well now. That afternoon, I walked in ahead of him and took a seat in the corner, cloaked in shadows. Lydia arrived first. Her hands shook as she stirred her tea. Minutes later, Ethan slid into the seat across from her, leaned in, kissed her cheek. She looked at him with pleading eyes. I waited until he reached for her hand. Then I stood up. "Ethan Marks," I said loud enough for heads to turn. He glanced up, puzzled. His confusion quickly dissolved into dread. "I don't think we've met," he stammered. "No," I said, "but I know you. And I know your wife, Claire. Lovely woman. Your kids go to St. Augustine Prep, don't they? At the twins." His face paled. Lydia's voice cracked. "David, please," I ignored her. "You're sleeping with my wife. So I thought it only fair I bring you both a gift." I placed a thick envelope on the table and stepped back. Ethan hesitated. Then opened it. His eyes widened as he scanned the photos. Dozens of them. Lydia and Ethan, kissing in parking lots, entering hotel lobbies, whispering across restaurant tables. "My lawyer already sent a digital copy to your firm's HR department," I said, my voice calm. "Also, Claire received hers this morning. I imagine she's packing your things as we speak." "You're out of your mind," Ethan muttered, trying to bluster. "No, Ethan. I just finally opened my eyes." Lydia stood, reaching for me. "David, we need to talk." I pulled back. "No, you don't get to speak. You already did. With him, over and over. You gave him everything you vowed to give me," she sobbed. Not the theatrical kind. The broken, gut-wrenching collapse of someone who realized the reckoning had come. Ethan looked at the envelope like it might explode. Maybe it already had. As I turned to leave, I gave them my final gift. "Oh, Lydia," I said without looking back, "don't bother coming home. The locks are changed. Your belongings are in a storage unit. The key sent to your parents. You'll have plenty to explain." To them, I stepped into the sunlight and let the cafe door close behind me. For the first time in months, I breathed. Lydia texted in the days that followed apologies, desperate pleas, declarations of regret. I didn't answer a single one. Ethan's wife filed for divorce. His company severed ties publicly. The PR fallout was spectacular. Lydia's agency suspended her, pending a review. As for me, I rebuilt. Slowly, steadily, honestly. I learned to cook for one. I started painting again. Yes. I spent long mornings on the balcony, just watching the city wake up without her. They made their choices. And I, finally, had the freedom to make mine.